Hi, my name is Cameron Four, and I'm an end-user computing technical strategist here at VMware on our end-user computing team. This is a high-level demo of the latest management pack for Horizon. And what we will cover today is we'll focus on the net new metrics, dashboard, and content that will be released when the version 1.1 of the management pack comes out. So in 1.0, what we mostly focused on is creating the basic Horizon data model. We focused on creating performance level metrics that shows you all of the critical KPIs that go in impacting user session performance, such as here we can see the user performance KPI. We can find quickly which users have the most performance issues throughout the environment. We even show you a breakdown per session KPI of things like what's their overall latency, which users have the most latency, which users have packet loss. But we also look at other environmental issues such as vSphere performance metrics in terms of CPU ready time, overall CPU utilization, disk performance, and even memory contention and availability. In this new release, what you'll notice is that we've enhanced the dashboards to take advantage of even more metrics. These new metrics mostly focus around overall capacity, so capacity in terms of pools, capacity in terms of RDS farms, and how those particular farms relate to pods and how they relate to the virtual infrastructure running underneath. But we've also added the ability to look at user login time metrics. So as you can see in this particular widget, we now have the ability to show you holistically across the board end to end, which users are having the biggest issues with overall login time performance. You can quickly drill down into those issues. You can see their names. You can see additional information in terms of how many sessions they have, what's their overall worst latency, packet loss, any idle duration. Most of these are net new metrics coming along with the latest management pack. In addition to this, we've also added a new Horizon World dashboard. So this is a net new dashboard leveraging a lot of the new metrics we've just released in the 1.1 release. So here you'll notice that we have information around critical alerts. You can see the error number of desktops throughout the environment. Errors basically cover anything impacting desktops. So if you have desktops that are unavailable, they're in some particular state that doesn't allow them to be useful for people, we can count them, we can see them holistically throughout the environment. And this also covers RDS hosts as well. So we actually track your host. We check to see if they're available, if they have any agent issues or connectivity problems. Anything that will prevent a user logging into a host, we track that as a global number. And we also provide other service level information on this dashboard. So here you'll see the overall connection server connections. We can look at, do we have connection servers with a large amount of disparity? Disparity in this case basically just means that you have servers in a Horizon pod where there's a large imbalance of the number of connections occurring. And this could indicate that there's a larger problem occurring throughout your Horizon environment for that particular pod. We can also see connection servers in terms of utilization. So if you need to quickly identify servers that are over capacity, so you've oversubscribed them, they have too many sessions, we can track that for you holistically. And we can also see things such as LDAP replication. So if you have connection servers that are starting to have replication errors in your pod, they will immediately pop up for you on this particular dashboard. The next particular area this dashboard focuses on are desktop pool availability. So we can see it in terms of which pools are running out of desktops. We can see it very clearly that, hey, we have 6 particular pools that have no desktop availability to them. We have a few pools that are in the 6 to 10 VM range. And really the goal is to provide you the high level metrics so you can quickly see, where do I have the most risk in terms of capacity? Where do I have the most risk in terms of configuration? So here we're actually looking at Horizon pool desktop errors. So if we have desktop agents with errors, they will show up. We can quickly find which ones they're occurring in. That way we know which pools we need to pay attention to first. We also capture login times per pool. So we don't just show it as a global number. We can actually look across your various pools and show you which pools have the highest login time. So this way, if you're trying to correlate, are there specific pools that have login time problems, this particular dashboard will quickly allow you to identify those issues. And with the built-in capacity metrics, we can see things such as, how many, which are the most pools that have the highest number of connections, which pools consume the most CPU in terms of gigahertz. So I can find out, which ones are consuming the most of my infrastructure, or which pools are consuming the most amount of memory in terms of gigabytes. So we can track this, we can make it easily visible. You can actually click on these particular objects and get a quick summary of those pools, so you see additional stats in terms of, well, how many people are connected, how many desktops are there, How many people have performance issues in this particular pool? What's the overall capacity being driven by this pool in terms of usable capacity, like how many desktops do I have available, how many desktops are remaining, but what are they also consuming? So this allows me to directly take the compute that the virtual machines are consuming from the vSphere environment and directly relate it to my pool, so I can see how much each pool is using in terms of CPU capacity, memory, and overall storage availability. And finally, we've also done the same for RDS farm, so we see the overall number of sessions remaining per farm. So if we're worried about which farms are running out of session capacity, so we're actually counting and calculating for you which farms per amount of CPU and memory that are being consumed are about to run out of the number of sessions and being supported. So we try to provide this for you proactively so you can see which farms have the least number of sessions that they're supporting. But we also do it in terms of connectivity. So again, we like to use this disparity number where we're looking at the overall farm, we're looking at how well the sessions are balanced across the farm. And if you have hosts that are indicating a large amount of disparity, this allows you to quickly identify servers that are either no longer accepting connections, or it could be that you're finding a server where it's taking all the connections and it's basically the only one serving that particular farm. But we also look at the host in terms of error states. So again, error states could be anything in terms of error in provisioning, error in terms of the desktop agent, very similar to what we're doing with the VDI desktop pools. And again, just like with the VDI pools, we can look at which of the top farms being connected to, which ones are consuming the most average CPU per farm. We can also look at the average session memory per farm. That way you can easily track if there are farms that typically consume a lot more resources than other farms. And then finally, on the VDI World Session Performance Dashboard, we've made a few tweaks and enhancements to it. So we've added a few additional metrics, again, trying to highlight the overall capacity consumption of your Horizon World. So as a global answer, how much CPU is your environment consuming? How much memory is it consuming? What's the overall disk throughput and disk IOPS for that environment, so you can make sure that you have enough underlying infrastructure to support your current workload. And then as you navigate through this particular dashboard, again, you can find your pods with performance issues from both a data center or network protocol perspective. You can see all of the available alerts related to these pods. You can quickly identify pools with network or DC performance problems. You can actually track per pool, so if you wanted to look at a particular pool and see how much data center performance is driving, how much CPU it's driving. Again, we have that as a global answer, so you can quickly break down all of the important KPIs per pool so you can understand where the workload's coming from, what's driving some of your capacity constraints, as well as your overall performance constraints. Also, to take advantage of the latest metrics, we've also enhanced the summary pages for the various objects throughout the Horizon world. So in case of you're looking at a pool or you're looking at a pod, all of the summary pages for the objects have been enhanced. So you'll see net new metrics. We've added in color-coded scoreboards so you can tell which ones are more offensive, which ones should you pay attention to. So here, again, we can identify, hey, we have desktops with low memory. We can find sessions with high latency. We can find desktops with errors, right? Do we need to go do some work or effort in this particular pool? And again, we also get the exact same level of capacity metrics. We get performance metrics from the pool. What's the worst session performance that we see out of the pool? But we also see capacity constraints. So we see how many desktops are available. What's the overall usable capacity remaining? What's the current configured maximum in desktop sessions? Then we can see the active sessions in that pool. And we've taken the time to go through and color code the available session information for you. So again, you can identify some of the more outstanding metrics that could be causing performance issues, already performance issues, or just driving a high amount of utilization throughout the environment. So that covers the main primary updates that we've made to the latest management pack for Horizon. Again, we've mostly focused on adding a lot of more pool farm capacity level metrics. We've gone through and enhanced the dashboards and the summary pages to take advantage of these metrics. And again, we've also added in the ability to see login times, login metrics, and some additional protocol metrics as well, such as protocol throughput. So you can find out, which sessions are, really driving the most throughput in terms of bandwidth utilization throughout the environment. This concludes today's demonstration. Thank you for watching, and please reach out to us with any additional questions on how you could take advantage of the latest enhancements to the management pack for Horizon. Thank you.